Yes, folks, hello, welcome once again to MoDXtra Games and Collectibles. It's time for another action figure review here on the channel, and as you can see on the screen in front of you right now, today's installment is going to be taking a closer look at the G.I. Joe Classified series, Trench Viper and Cobra Modular Fortification set. Very, very excited to get this in hand. A new idea, a new concept in G.I. Joe Classified, and if you've been thinking about picking one up for yourself, by the end of this video you will have had a good thorough overview to make your mind up whether this is the figure for you and the figure for your money. So I'm going to give you a quick walk through of the packaging and then get into the set itself. We'll have a quick look at the figure, kind of weigh that up, and then we'll get into the good stuff, all the accessories and added value. Well, I say added value, you've paid for it in the price, but you get the idea. I'll give you a quick walkthrough of the modular fortification, the sandbags, all that good stuff, so that you can see what this set is all about. So let's get into it, and let's start by going back in time and visiting past Chris as he takes a look at the packaging, gives his first instinctual reaction when it arrived on his doorstep. Well, here we are then, folks. Thanks once again to my guys over at In Demand Toys for their sterling import work for us UK-based customers. And here we have the Trench Viper and Cobra Modular Fortification. Arrived on my doorstep earlier today, but I had some work to finish before I could get round to doing this. Quick packaging overview for the mint in box, folks. You can see we've got the digital render here on the front showing the Trench Vipers getting all modularly fortified up in things. Got some rattlers in the background there, lovely. Little window on the side showing off the Trench Viper itself. Then on the back here you can see it's 151 in the line. Got this little digital render picture of all the included goodies, a couple of breakout windows with some key highlights, legal bollocks and malarkey across the bottom, the import sticker. Bit of artwork here on the side. I've had to pull the camera back out to get all that in. It's a big old box, this one. Got the file card here, quick rundown. Let's learn about the Trench Viper together. We've got some booties here. Trench Viper is, likes to collect kicks. You know what I mean? Obscure Nikes from the 80s, that kind of thing. This here's a condenser tumble dryer. The guy's called a Trench Viper. He spends time in trenches. It's muddy, it's shitty. Spends a lot of time doing laundry. Hasn't got the time to air dry, on the line in the garden. Got to have a condenser air dryer. Got a little fist bump here. This is obviously to indicate that the Trench Viper is pretty strong because, carrying modular fortifications and whatnot. And then finally, a little police badge here. This is because the Trench Viper is a massive fan of the Nathan Fillion TV show The Rookie. Loves a good cop procedural. Right, so there we go. There's the packaging overview. I'm now going to go away, crack this bad boy open, and get some good quality hands-on man-child playtime in. So give it a day or two, and I'll be back to record the review thoughts, once I've played with it and got some review thoughts. So stick around. I'll be with you in 3, 2, 1. All right, folks, well, let's just start off by getting it out of the way and have a very quick look at the Trench Viper itself. I am going to make it a very quick look for two reasons, really. The first is that I suspect most folks are eager to see the Cobra fortification stuff, the modular fortification stuff. But secondly, also, it's really a Frankenstein's monster of a variety of reuse pieces plugged together to make a new Viper, And if you've been collecting the line for a while, you'll be familiar with it. So let's make it super fast. So I'm not as sharp-eyed and canny as some of you guys out there to clock all the exact reuse. But if you have done, then please feel free to head down to the comments down below and educate me and the rest of the viewers. Obviously, the head and the chest vest, the head and the vest are Ali Vipers, as are the trimmings, like his thigh holsters and his thigh pad and his little wrist-mounted knife sheath there. That's all Ali Viper stuff. But the main book looks to me like it's Shockwave, maybe. Look, you can see he's got the little elasticated wrist on there. Although, did Shockwaves, I'll have to dig him out, did Shockwave have the padded elbows at the back? I'm not sure, but in any case, the body's not actually the Ali Viper body under there. The head, neck, and the vest piece are, but the main body isn't, and neither are the legs, nor are the boots. We've seen these boots before, but I can't quite pin down. Copperhead, maybe? No, they're not copperheads. But you get the idea. So they've just Frankenstein together, kind of using bits of Ali Viper, bits of other figures to make the Trench Viper come together, and then we've got these shoulder pieces on here. The helmet's cool. My thoughts are the same as with the Ali Viper. Got this nice little kind of decal on the paint application on the front of the visor. Got this lovely sculpted Cobra symbol. That's on hinges at the side of the helmet, so you can swing it up and get the balaclavaed face on the underneath there. Really stony eyes. Look at that. So much expression with so little of the face visible. And I love these little kind of teeth like the Viper, the snake motif with the little teeth at the bottom here, just like I did on the Alley Viper. The vest is bulky. Again, thoughts the same as with the Alley Viper, but I like the color combo, the gray and the black. The little carabiner clips down here with individual paint applications on them. Looks good, but it's obviously restrictive when it comes to the articulation of the figure. Same with these shoulder pads. We've seen these on a few things now. They've got this nice little decal here with Century written on one side and the Cobra logo on the other, and they're fine, but they just really do bulk up the figure and get in the way of the articulation, but they look good. Got the usual textured details in the clothing areas, textural details, little bunching up here at the top of the boot, and the texture of the fabric in there. And I mentioned the elasticated wristbands and stuff too. And the little splashes of red here and there, like on the face mask underneath the visor and with the logo and that, just to add a little bit of something else, a little splash of colour to bring it to life a bit more. The colour scheme is interesting, this kind of blue, black, white, sort of urban camo decoration. You can see it mostly on the legs here and on the arms, which is why I've zoomed in on the legs. Your mileage will vary with that. I think it's just a matter of taste. I quite like it, to be honest. I said this when I saw the digital renders. Despite the flagrant reuse and my dislike of having too much kind of repeat-looking characters in my collection, the blue, white and black little camo pattern there is nice, it's attractive, and I've had to really turn the lights up. It works. He camouflages well against my dark background here, which I think is cool. So yeah, he's all right, he's decent. He can have a thumbs up. I like him well enough. Would I have preferred something a bit more kind of Cobra troopery or something a little bit more interesting in terms of an army builder if they're inventing characters? Yeah, I probably would have done, but this guy ain't half bad. He looks all right. You could take those shoulder pads off if they're really peeing you off, you know what I mean? So yeah, he'll get a thumbs up. He fits in well with the set, I suppose. Now, folks, I think what I'll do is I'll skip articulation on this one. It is the standard G.I. Joe Classified Series articulation scheme, but I'm very, very aware that with all the modular fortification stuff, it's going to be a long review, so I'll jump past it, just let you know that it's standard G.I. Joe Classified Series articulation. The vest obviously affects the waist, ball joint and the ab crunch underneath, but other than that, everything else is standard. What I will say is he took quite a bit of heating. He was very crunchy out the box the other day. Accessory wise, pretty straightforward. He comes with a pistol, little handgun. We've seen this one before. I think that's the one that the Vipers come with. Got a holster on his right thigh there for mounting it on the figure. Two little knives, pretty straightforward. We've seen these before. Nice to see the blade colour paint application on the blades, and then he's got a sheath on his wrist and a sheath on his vest. And then we have a repaint of the Alley Viper shield here with the lovely sculpted in Cobra symbol with this nice metallic paint job, this purpley metallic paint job, and then a little bit of the matching camouflage across the front. Really like the way that purple shines there on the centre of the shield, and then all this lovely sculpted detail, and then more sculpted detail here on the back with all his little kind of HUD information on the little screen there. And just as a little side note there, folks, I find the shield easier to pop on by taking the hand off. I haven't flipped it through, gripped it into his hand properly there, but you can see if you pop the wrist and then slide this tighter ring down, it's just a nice cozy fit. So there you go, folks. There is the Trench Viper in his most trenchiest of glories. Let's now take a closer look at the modular fortification set. All right then, well, onto the modular fortification. You can see it comes with a little instruction book that gives you a walkthrough of how to put everything all together, which I've been fiddling around with today. The core pieces are these three panels. So you've got your front panel here. You can see with the little observation hatch there and the little poke out gun gun placement section there. And then you can see it's got all this kind of textured detail and little knocks and scrapes and scratches, which is all nice to see. It's got these little holes here and there. I don't really know what they're for. There doesn't appear to be anything in the... You can hear my little tin that I put all the bits in. It doesn't appear to be anything that plugs into those as of yet, but who knows down the line. Then we've got the side panels. This one here, you can see, has got the Cobra logo painted on it. Got all the rivets and everything, and all the texture detail and the metallic scraped sections by the joints there. It's also got a little printed decal here, Cobra issued ballistic wall. And then the third one, just a plain wall, again with the panels in it. Cobra issued ballistic wall, got the little peg holes for some reason again. And with the knocks and scrapes too. On the inside of the two side walls, you can see that you get this piece here that you can fit on. This is like a little gun rack. that you can put on either. It's got the peg holes that go on either side there. And again, got a little bit of printed information, tension modular wall with some arrows pointing down to let you know which way is the bottom. These then clip together with this little hinge joint here, so you can pop those in just like so, and do that on either side. Let's get the Cobra logo the right way around. And there it is. That's with the 3 panels that are included in the set there, look. It does come with this extra little selection of hinges and clasps, and I haven't actually managed to figure out what these little bits are for. If anyone can help me out and drop a comment down below, that would be appreciated. But these are all presumably so that if you buy multiple sets, you can then start, chunking them all together. And if you have a look at the photos on the Hasbro Pulse website, you can see they've been using these pieces in particular to join further walls together. You then have a ceiling and a floor piece as well. Both have got this checkered tread, steel tread pattern in them. This is the roof piece here. You can see it's got 2 peg holes at the top for a couple of other extra pieces that I'll show you in a second. Then on the underside, you can see it's got pegs, and these pegs match up with the holes in the top of the panels. Same again with the bottom piece. It's in this a steel tread style. Got these pegs across the bottom there, so they operate as stilts on an independent one, but then if you're stacking them, it obviously marries up to the pegs on the standard roof piece. And then on the other side, we've got the pegs to fit into the bottom, along with a couple of pegs in the middle for some other bits and bobs that I'll show you in just a sec. And here we are, you can see from the other side with the base plate and the roof all pegged in place. And that's what it looks like on the inside, and you can, mount guns and stuff. Let me grab a rifle. You can pop a couple of guns in the gun rack there, like so. Just these were just a couple that I just laid my hands on quickly out my guns box there, all put together, which is pretty cool, quite fun. Then you get 2 sets of ladders in there. These are just kind of single color plastic. They've got sculpted details in there, like little foot tread grips on the bars across it there. And then you've got these clips here at the top. The clips go over these grey panels at the top here. And you know what? I've just gone and realised what these bloody blue pegs are for. They're for fitting ladders together. They've got peg holes in them for fitting ladders. Bloody hell, I've had this for 2 days and I've only just realised that. Knobhead, Chris. Then I mentioned the 2 peg holes at the top of the unit there. So these are for 2 little accessory items that you can plug in across the top. We've got like a little searchlight here, and then a little kind of radio radar receiver type thing that you can plug in. These can obviously spin in the peg hole. The searchlight, has got an up and down tilt hinge on it. This is fine. It's got this nice little translucent piece in there, so if you want to shine a light in from the back, if I spin it around, you can see you can shine a light in from the back just to give it some illumination. And then you've got the shiny kind of metal paneling in the receiver there as well, so you can set that up at the top to add a bit of flavor to your unit. Then you get these 2 stands with it. These come together, so you've got this splits down the middle here, and then you've got this extendable rod with the little clamp in there that marries up to these holes, so you can sort of set it at the height you want. You can't adjust the height while it's all together. You have to split it and then put it back together to get the height you want. So if you want a little bit more height on that there, and then you just line up your peg holes. Oh, sorry, folks, that was out of focus. Let me get that back in focus. Line up your peg holes, and there you go. You've got your units. This one here has also got an extra little panel that goes in on the top. This is for mounting your massive 50 cal machine gun. As you can see, suffering a little bit from the G.I. Joe classified rubbery weapon problem. I've got a droopy barrel there. I will reheat that back in place, but I've left it as is for the purposes of the video. And then it's got the little mounting section here with the peg in it. So this bit on the top there allows you to mount that in there. And then you've got the changeable handles. So you've got the kind of mounted shooty setup there, or you've got the roadblock style carry. It's all a bit bent available. And then a bullet belt. Wherever I put the bullet belt, there it is, and the bullet belt that you can obviously belt feed through your section there. So that's all fine, nice. It's one single black piece of molded plastic. We do have the additional little decal on the side here with Cobra written on it. And as you can see, you can sort of adjust your height and stuff so that it fits through your little gun placement section there if you want to use it from inside the unit or behind another bit that we'll be looking at in a second. What you can also do with these, if you don't have that extra panel across the top, is you can sort of take your searchlight off the top, your searchlight on there. So if you want to get your trench viper sort of panning the tree line, checking if there's any movement or anything going on, or if you want to, I don't know, pop your aerial in there. I don't think this looks quite as good. You can pop your aerial in there, maybe get your Tele Viper sat next to it or something, which would be good fun. And as I mentioned earlier, you've got these pegs on the base, on the floor piece. You've got a little hole there that plugs in, so you can see I've mounted the big 50 cal machine gun on one of the stands, pegged in there. And if I just sort of spin it round, you can sort of see it poking out, and you can decide how much of your barrel you want on show. And then last but by no means least, we have the sandbag wall here. So you can see it's got the sort of sandbag textured detail, the sort of sack textured detail in there. There has been, it looks a bit plasticky if I'm being honest. There has been an attempt to sort of, I don't know if you can see those slightly darker shaded sections in here in an effort to give it a little bit more depth. And you can see the seam lines down the side of the bags. You got the tied up tops there, but you know, like the cord is in the same color as the rest of the piece. So it's okay. It does look a little bit plasticky though, which while I'm on the subject, I didn't mention, but the roof panel and the base panel of this look quite plasticky in comparison to some of the more kind of the foam board diorama stuff that I've picked up in the past. But it's okay, it's nice, it's fun, you know, again, sort of opens up the world of possibility, the range of kind of little displays and diodes that you can build with this, because it's yet another element that you can use quite flexibly with your collection. And of course, you don't have to always use it with your Trench Viper, and with your Cobra Fortification, you can use it with any of your figures, you know, as you see fit. So as far as accessories goes, it's definitely a thumbs up. It's a fun set. I've been, like I say, I've had it for 2 days in total now. Been playing around with it loads, just messing about and doing little combinations of the modular fortification setup, putting a few other different figures behind it and what have you, just to really get to grips with it, get good and hands-on. Would I call it added value? Well, no, because it's obviously all factored into the price. It's I don't know what they call them nowadays, a deluxe box set, a vehicle. Is it the vehicle price maybe? I don't know what you call it in these different pricing scales, but it's not really added value because it's all factored into the price, but it is a fun set. Some of it does look a bit plasticky. That's the only downside, but overall, it's a good laugh. Yeah, what do you want? You just want to build weird setups. The machine gun's a bit hard to see in there, but it is in there. I've put it in there, I promise. So yeah, I'm going to give it a thumbs up because actually, yeah, I've kind of quite enjoyed messing around with it, to be fair. It's it's been a good time. And what more do you want? So final thoughts time then, folks. It's a little bit too big for me to pop on the turntable and give you a full 360 view of, I'm afraid. It's too big for my little tiny stage area I used to record my videos in. But all I'll say is it's not without its flaws. It's not without its flaws. You can see here, like some of the pegs, they don't, you know, you really have to, they sort of pop out. Some of the walls look a bit bowed. You have to sort of squeeze them in. The plastic's a bit kind of soft and malleable on the unit. Some of the plasticky bits, like the searchlight, just looks a bit too cheap. The sandbags have got too plastic a vibe about them. Trench Vipers, it's fun, but it's a bit bland. You know, it's a bit bland. However, I can see some folks getting into it and doing some really exciting stuff. And to be frank, regardless of those criticisms, I've been pissing about with this thing loads the last couple of days, and I've been having a lot of fun. So it'd be unfair of me to criticize it too harshly, because it definitely taps into that little nostalgic kid inside me. Is really leaning into that nostalgic kid piece inside me. And I'm also very excited about the idea of having playsets of this nature in the line. You know, I've only picked up one. I know folks out there are interested in picking up a couple and like really exploring the range of possibilities with the kind of modular functionality of all this and building elaborate and exciting setups. I bought one because I just want to get my hands on it, see what it's all about, and show a bit of support for the idea. So yeah, if you're going in knowing that it's not entirely without its flaws, but it will make you feel like a big kid again, and you can have lots of fun man-child playtime, then it's the set for you and worth your money. If it's a little bit on the pricier side and you really can't reconcile the fact that the Trench Viper's a bit, you know, of a bland Frankenstein figure with very little personality, really. You know, at least the Alley Viper's got an outrageous colour scheme, you know. Then perhaps it's not the set for you. You know, your mileage will vary, I think, is the long and the short of that. So there you go then, folks. That brings me to the end. Thank you very much. I hope you found it useful. I hope you can use that to make a decision about your spending, about whether this is the figure for your wallet or not. If you did find it useful, do all the YouTubey things, hit the big red button, hit the thumbs up. But all that really remains to say is hope you have a great day, hope you have a great week, and I'd love to see you around these parts again for another video sometime soon. So come back again. You all are welcome. All right, take it easy, folks.